Good morning, good morning. It's good morning for me still, as I'm in Arizona and our time doesn't change. But I wasn't sure exactly what I'm going to do today. I wasn't really planning on being online and doing this, but then I went to Rosanna's page and saw that she's not feeling well, so she didn't go live today. So I'm not sure that the lights aren't too bright still because I don't feel like you can see me whatsoever. Let me turn them down just a touch more. There we go. That's a bit better, but yes. Okay, there we go. Um, Good morning, Barbara, and good morning, Leah. Like I said, most of you guys are probably on mornings. I will say this against once others come online. I checked no messages, emails. I didn't do any of that the entire time I was in California. I just wanted to enjoy my time because I knew like my one-on-one time with Switch was going to be not as much as we had previously hoped it would be. But yeah, but it worked out. We're all good. I had a blast. She's adorable. I had so much fun with her. Um, and my daughter and my son-in-law. It was nice to see all of them. We haven't seen them since just before Christmas because it's afternoon, but your brain is not awake. Yes, I haven't even drank one cup of coffee this morning because, like I said, I went to log on to Rosanna's at 10 a.m. only to see that it should have been 9 a.m. and that she had put something up. And so I was like, okay, well, I think I'm gonna go jump on just because I know from personal experience, like this is my routine, and I don't know. The day just doesn't seem to go as well when I don't do this, so or don't get to see all of you, or get to see Rosanna go live and Randy go live, which I missed again. We got home and I went straight to bed. Like I sent Rosanna and Beth a message saying, home safe, completely exhausted, in pain, going to bed, and did just that. So, but Beth gets antsy if she knows someone she loves is on the road and she hasn't gotten that I'm home safe. So, oh, and also, we need to get dry shampoo. A round of applause this morning because without it, I wouldn't be here because there was no way I was doing the whole shower thing. So, dry shampoo made all of this possible. Well, all of this possible. But yeah, oh, there's still quickies. Throw that away. But anyway, so I don't have a lot planned. I'll be completely honest with you. Like I said, I really had no intention of going live today, but I missed you guys. I haven't talked to you since Friday, and that got cut short because we found out that Brock got off earlier, which was a good thing because it took us 7 hours to get there because they're doing something at the Arizona California border. I don't understand what it is. Oh yeah, yeah. They're obsolete like that. Like that. Mine was top of the line at the time, and it's considered 720 to be 720 whatever the like internet speed is supposed to be. And 4K is 2180. And now they're selling laptops that have 8K cameras just in the webcam itself. So it's like going live in 4K is scary enough for somebody of my mature age. So, oh, yes. Anyways, I do know this. I know that my current bargain B box Man. Oh, that's a different one. I know that both my bargain bead box and my dollar bead box are like out for delivery and should be here anytime. Literally, supposedly according to the interwebs, it says that it should be in the next 10 minutes. So I was like, okay, well, I know I have one more like recorded tutorial that I want to do with the companion bundle in a separate video, but I know what that is, so we can go on and like create, because there was one thing that I wanted to do that we didn't get to do, and it's not part of the other idea that I want to do. So I figured maybe we can work on that this morning. So yes, it is because of the time change. Although I don't have a time change, but yes, it's an hour earlier because of everybody else's. So yes. The birthday party was great. Um, there were a lot of people there. It's always an odd experience watching your children adult. Like, it is weird. On the way up there, Steven and Brock were sitting in the front seat and they're like chatting, and I'm dozing off, and all of a sudden I hear Brock go, "Oh yeah, one of my patients, da 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 da." And I'm like, I have a child old enough and educated enough to have patients. Like, that's crazy. And then Jerica like has been building a little community, and none of her mom friends like knew each other. And they all were at the party, and you would have thought that they'd known each other for years. It was just like them talking away, and I was just sitting there like watching all of them, and Jared comes up and she goes, "Is everything okay? You're just staring. Are you in too much pain, Mom?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just watching you guys. That's all. I people watch, so yeah." But so it was a lot of fun. It was great. I will tell you, my most favorite moment was yesterday morning, because we got to Jerica's house and the door was unlocked, so we just like walked in. And the second I walked in, Squish just started babbling and trucking right for me, crawling across the floor. And I was like, oh. I'm like, I didn't think she'd do this till 2 or 3. Jerica's like, me neither, because we've talked about it. We've sent each other like the little videos of like the 2 and 3 year olds going nuts when grandparents come. But that happened yesterday, and it was weird. Me too, Leah. All of mine are. So yes. Um, but yeah, that was like an amazing moment for me, as a Gigi. And then Steve's stepmom, I've been talking about how she's going to be a drummer. Like, I've been telling her mom this for forever, because since she was 3 months old, she loved doing this. And she would do it in different ways to like pat and stuff. Well, Steve's stepmom got her a little pair of bongo drums, and after that was the only thing that got that away from her. Was like, she's really into these like board books that have like a little finger puppet that goes through all the way to the head, and Dirk had one, and I witnessed firsthand how just like crazy squishes about them, because she literally like is there, and Dirk will finish the story and put it down, and puts it right back in her lap. Dirk reads it again, and she puts it down. Right back again. So the mom goes and sits it in the toy box and sits back down and squish the whole way to the toy box. Grabs that book and all the way back over to her mom, stands up, puts it back in her lap. So we got her, she actually opened one of them at the party, but then I put like 7 or 8 in my Amazon cart and had them all delivered, and was like, Jerica, just rotate them. And then I got a message last night, Squishy is in baby book heaven. And I had told her maybe you should rotate them. That way, when you're sick of a specific book, it's like, oh, look, all new books. You don't have to read those anymore. So, yeah, it was great. It was amazing. We had a blast. I'm glad we waited for Brock, even though it meant like less one-on-one time. But I think it worked out better anyways because Jericho was very like on edge about everything going well. So even if we would have gotten there earlier on Friday, we probably still would have had like errands to run and still been kind of keyed up about everything. So it went good. Hello, Tammy and Donna. Mary, I believe I said hello. If I did not, hello. Linda, I answered your question, but did not say hello. Hello, Linda. So, okay, enough about me. It was great, though. We had so much fun. I had so much fun hanging out with everybody. It was fun. Her in laws made way too much food. But other than that, it was great. So, okay, so one of the things that I talked about when I unboxed the companion bundle was that I wanted to do something with these tube beads as well as the Heishi beads because they're the same diameter but different lengths. And I thought that it would look really cool. This light is not where it's supposed to be, so you guys aren't getting it as bright as it's supposed to be. There we go. Okay. I said, well, there's one less to work with. Okay. I said that I wanted to do just like a very simple design using these with like maybe a very teeny tiny like spacer in between them or whatnot, or like a bead cap, whatever it is. I just don't want it to be too thick. So I have triangles, which might look cool in between. I have these triangles. I have obviously my ball spacers. I have, kind of depends on what colors we want to do. I guess we could stick with the theme since I'm not done designing with this. I feel like the companion bundle went out too late last month. Because, like, we just got it, and people are already starting to get it. Oh, I also have these. Oh, yeah, I think these are going to be the winner, but there might be something on either end. Although these flower spacers are cute, too. They're just cute. So, let's get a piece of stringing material out of my scrap pot. Okay, let's move these. So I might want, like, what I'm thinking is that I think it would be really cool if we did a pattern. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. Maybe with these, because these were marketed as as like something that you could make a double-stranded bracelet with. So that could be kind of cool. And maybe we figure out the pattern so it is kind of like brick stitched or whatever, like this. And just kind of offset it a little bit, but keep it very simple. And if we only use either the ball spacers or the little daisy spacers, what do you guys think? This would be, and there's no reason we can't do a mix of these if we want to, because obviously, we absolutely can. So like, there's this, there's one option, or we can do it like this. With that being another, like, just kind of option, which I might put two in if we decide to do that. I might just put two in between them. we have a bunch of different options. These could be kind of cool because they kind of mimic the round shape. Let me see that. And there's no one, we can obviously, like the top row can have a different spacer than the bottom row does. I kind of like that. So this is like the little fluted one, the lantern bead, I think they're called. I kind of like the lantern bead. And then we could go to a ball spacer and then a lantern. Yeah, I kind of like that. Where are the rest of my lanterns? I know that I don't have a ton of these, so we probably have to split them up a little bit at least. Maybe not. I always think I'm short on materials, and then there's like a ton left over. So, whatever the pattern's gonna be, I'm probably going to have a break like right here, so that, well, no, it'll be fine. I always forget that this is wider than I think it is. I don't know. Sounds good. Yeah, I think I like the fluted edge. So let me cut another piece of, that is not sufflex I was looking for. I literally walked in here, set up the live, got ready, and came back in. Oh, and hubby bought me a box of like different like colors and whatnot of these frames. They're a little bit longer and like leaner than the ones that I typically like my red ones. But we'll see. I have a pair, like a set of cat eyes sitting in my Amazon cart that I also want to get. Okay, where? I don't think that's gonna be long enough. But I'm surprised we haven't seen Beth or Rosanna. Well, I know Rosanna's not feeling good, so that's not a complete surprise. Put a lid on this. It doesn't get spilled. These are bigger, but I love rhodonite and garnet. If these were a touch smaller, those would be in the running as well. And I can't believe I haven't made a garnet rhodonite bracelet yet. So maybe we'll just make a couple of little simple bracelets today. And then the garnets become spacers. If that is, I can find my softlex. Hello. It has Toy Storied its way out of my line of vision. Let me see. I can do the 49 strand of the white. That's what I want to do. So how was everybody else's weekend? We talked about mine. Anybody else do anything fabulous this weekend? Did everybody at least have a good weekend, even if you just puttered around the house? I like puttering. Okay, so we have two different colors. It's okay. I will do bead tips at the end. That's how I will go with this. I still don't understand where that went. I've had the hardest time keeping track of that spool of wire. You're in with the rest of your wire, Heather, so you don't lose that one too. It's gonna drive me batty. Okay. So I have an idea for what we can do for the second strand. So let's kind of start with the strand A, let's call it for now, and figure out our pattern. I'm thinking that if we don't do the lantern, we could either do something like that, or we can do it with the ball spacer with the daisy spacer in between. And then it's similar, but not sisters, not twins. Like so. And we could even alternate between the two. So I think that will look really pretty with the lantern. So, okay, so we did the small one. I think I want to go small one, big one. And then we will alternate the way that we'll figure out the second one. And I need to decide if I'm going to have a lot of these or just one on either side at the top of the bracelet. I need to decide that. What do you guys think? More than one or like more than two that are just like right here? Like I said, I like this as a single strand, but I did want to try. Yeah. I just am not sure how many to do. So maybe go through the pattern. Okay. Hi, Dot. How are you? Mwah. Aww. So you got grandbabies too. Hi, Sid. Hi, Georgina. Who else did I miss? Did I miss anybody else? Dude, where's Beth? Where did I put my phone? I'm just dead set on losing everything today. I'm just surprised she's not in here. Maybe she had an appointment or something. Okay. Um, yes, I like that. So should we do more or less? Hello, Renee. In case you guys didn't hear this at the beginning, I checked no emails, I checked no messages. I sent a picture or two to Rosanna and Beth and then texted them when we got home and said, hey, exhausted, can't text. And I will talk to you in the morning. Okay, so now if we do the fluted one on this side, I went right into this. We offset it. Just that one has like a little divot out of it. It's the natural stone because it's like polished and whatnot, but it's just not. thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we need to kind of keep Rosanna in our thoughts and prayers because she's not feeling well. So that's why she wasn't on this morning. And she doesn't need to get sick right now while she's dealing with pain too, but it might be the pain that's causing her to get sick. So what do you guys think? Other than the fact that those are way too close together. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a secondary daisy spacer, which isn't going to do all that much, but hopefully it will at least help a little bit. I wanted them more offset than that. I know that because we're doing multiple spacers, there's no way to like do that. And I don't think I'm gonna do two. I think I'm just going to take and do one of the Kishis, and then that should also get us where we need to be with them being more offset. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I gotta do the other side too, but there's no reason to go much further than that. Let's see if that worked better. That's a little bit better. Yeah, that'll work. I kind of wanted it to be like that more, but I don't know that that's entirely possible if I'm going to use different spacers. I thought that would be about the same, but it's a little bit longer. Hmm. Maybe if I start with a long one, I will get what I'm looking for. Start with that one. Yeah, that's gonna work better. Okay. I know I have to fix the pattern over here still. Just a simple design. Okay. What does everything? How many of the rhinestones do we put on our bracelet? These are not very centrally drilled. These Heishis, some of them are like way off center, but it's a natural stone, so a few. Okay. So then maybe we like do one that hits like here and then do like the small Heishi pattern with the large Heishi pattern, go across, do another one, same thing, do another one. That's what I think I want to do. So let's drop this down to the center so I can figure out if it's going to line up properly. Sorry, my brain is buffering. Uh, I think I'm gonna do one side with all small beads and the other side with all the longer beads. I think that's what I want to do. I think that will help me achieve what I'm wanting to. Let's put a couple repeats on. Though now that feels like too much. Like I said, I literally sat down. I hadn't intended on going live today, but I'm glad I do. I did, because I would have wanted to do the unboxings regardless. So, for those of you who don't like to be surprised, how do you prefer that a content creator let you know? Because I see that some people like put the box contents and put it in black and white. That's not how I do it. I do it with my thumbnail. So I'm thinking that it might, like, do I still start out and say, if you want to be surprised, go away? Because I don't like know how, I always get mine late, and by then everybody and their mom's done an unboxing of it already. Which I know some people got theirs last week and are doing exactly that. So yeah, I like that. This is gonna be pretty. So let's match these up. How many I'm gonna have to do before I. Okay, so probably. Let's see if this lines up for the two hole thing. It does indeed. Woohoo! Okay, first rhinestone spacer thingy. I want these to go way down. Yes, that's what I want to do. Okay, good. I was a little worried that it might go into the hole of the divider, but it won't. It works just fine. Mm. I got to remember to take pictures and actually post everything that I made using the bargain bead box. Because I always forget to do that. Does bargain bead box allow you to post um your channel? I forgot I don't want to go very far up here. Because I want to do another one. I feel like this will match up nicely. Okay. Do those two match up? Now, this one will have one more heishi. And it'll start with the heishi on the other side too. Okay, next one. Now this will be the top of the wrist. This part will be. Uh-oh. Oh no, there's. For a second, I had it all backwards. Yay! Give them the option to go away. I don't like not being surprised when I'm waiting for something. Okay. Hi, Delon. Oh, I can only imagine, Dot. Delon and I did nothing all weekend but spend time with family. I didn't check any emails. I didn't respond to any messages. I didn't do any of that stuff. I just focused on being present during the visit, and because it was such a short runaround, by the time we got to the hotel at night, I was just done. So, but like I said, the drive took 7 hours to get there because of something they were doing at the border. It was like they were stopping everybody, but there was no real clear reason as to why they were stopping everybody. Going from Arizona to California and then the other way around. So, I mean, with today's climate the way it is, it could be any number of things that they were doing. So, not that we're not talking political. Sorry. I'll just shut it. Because I don't want to get into that on the channel. This is your guys' escape from all that. So, okay, so I want to do the pattern just across the top of the hand. And then I will like mimic this again, where there's just the short, like little burst in between the things, and then I'll end it the same way. And that should be a good length for everything. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5. So as long as everything lines up well, I'm going to try to do the exact same across the top. So there's that. Let's go ahead and do the other side now. Try to line everything up. This side is a lot faster. I almost kind of wish this was a triple strand because I feel like this and this would be very pretty, but if that was on the outside as well. All right. Lines up. Woohoo! Okay, other side. Okay, now I'm wondering if I shouldn't. No, it's fine. So then we already know what we need on the other side of this, which is just the fluted, the straight, And the fluted spacer again. I'm going to do the same thing we're just going to do. So, but we're going to go backwards. So we're going to go Keishi, ball spacer. I'm trying to practice getting my beads up off of my mat using my line as like the needle because I mainly do labs. I gotta practice a little bit. Right? It was 2:30. Except this one. It's slightly off. It's driving me crazy. I'm just going to take this safety out because that will line it back up. And this is along the side of the wrist. So we just won't tell anybody. I'm going to finish it off. Much. So then we get to figure out how we're going to end it, which is always the thing that's hardest for me about a multi-strand bracelet. Necklaces are more forgiving, but like the bracelet, it has to like they're laying right next to each other. So you kind of have to do it. Um, you have to be more precise. But this is sometimes you don't have a choice. Like I need to take that Heishi off, otherwise they weren't gonna line up. So and then we will measure it. I may need to take some of the repeat off, which if we do, we'll just do a little bit on both sides. And go from there. Okay. So we'll stop right here on that side. Other side. Tag. That's the rubber sensor. Okay. I think I know how I'm going to do this paper. Or the ending though. So where's my bracelet? Ooh, that might be too long. No, it's at 6.5. Okay. I will just keep the class like condensed. All I'm gonna do is take pick a piece of 18 gauge copper wire. Gonna straighten it. I'll show you. So, let's start with 4 inches. I don't think we need that much, but it's better to have a little bit of extra than not enough. So, okay. And then I'm gonna grab my 6-step veil making pliers. I'm going to try to find roughly the center. I'm gonna push down and then I'm gonna let it crisscross. And I'm nowhere near center, so let's just roll till I am. And then if I do have to roll to get it straight, there we're good. Now I'm gonna twist it once and twice, okay? My loop just did go off to one side, so I'll fix that really quick. Like so. And then all I'm going to do is now make a smaller loop, like just barely off center. I'm gonna leave that one there and I'm gonna roll, I'm gonna do the other one, make sure we have the same size and all of that. And this loop is not in the right direction. There we go. Okay, let me see. We need to be further apart. Too close together. So again, it'll just roll out a little bit. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of like rolling it out and then pulling it back together. This one needs to go that way or not, and it's just going to be a pain. Okay, this one doesn't want to cooperate, so we will get it. So I think that's about the width I need. I'm gonna go in with my straight nose pliers, and these ones might be too long. I might need to use my smaller ones to do so. And I'm just gonna try to flatten this out a bit. By just taking my flat nose pliers, you might have to go in at a different angle to get it all the way. But now that they are spread too far apart now, of course, just the tiniest, littlest bit. I overcompensated. Okay. How's that? That's perfect. Okay. Now that they're where they need to be, I'm just going to take my flat nose pliers. Oh, we need to bend. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to wrap this around. Kind of like that, I guess. And then I'm going to use my little pliers to kind of get in there. And squish that, flip it off. And then I get to try to do this to match the other side. But now that I've done one side, it shouldn't be as difficult. But, you know, we've all said that, and then it ends up being more difficult. Or, you know, that old saying, we make, oh, are you serious, Heather? Here we go again. Just cutting off some more wire right here. Sorry. Not quite that far fixed. You're not going to be able to see me because it's down so low. I'm just cutting it more wire is all. Sorry. I know I'm out of frame, but that's all I'm doing is cutting wire. Okay, so I think the ticket is like where I've been trying to figure out something similar to this for a while. So there they are. I'm going to go ahead and try to twist them. Twist it a second time so the twists don't come out. And then I think the easiest thing to do is going to be to move everything out of the way, grab one of just the little rhinestone spacer bits, and make it match that way. So we want the loop right there. Okay, let's see. Is that right? Yes. Heather, make life easier for yourself. Just form one large loop, but two smaller loops. I don't understand what you're saying. That that's what I'm doing. Sorry, trying to make sure I didn't cut off the loop this time like I did last time. Center these loops. There we go. There's one. Looks like this one was a little bit closer, but I'm going to call that good enough for now. It's not actually that much bigger. It's just that the loop kind of got a little bit bigger on this side for some reason. So it's not like, but this is handmade jewelry. And for a first attempt on camera, I can't be too mad at it. So let's do the other one. I forgot I already have the wire cut for this side. It's okay. Then we're gonna come to about right there. So where we want the loop up over and around. And Linda, you never replied to my email or my message, by the way. You said you were going to. I never heard it. I never got it. So I saw that you saw it just as you were heading off to bed. Switch with side buckles on. Do the little. Oops, sorry, I'm shaky. I get that way the day after just about any trip we go on. I have no idea why it happens, but it does. So there we go. Now we can crimp to our loops. And then if I was smart, I would have put the lobster claw on there. Didn't think about it till right this very second. But isn't that the way it always goes? It's all right. It's probably going to be way too long, but I will fix it because I do that. Sometimes I completely remake a piece after the live just to kind of like get it in my brain a little bit more. So we're gonna put crimp tube on. We're gonna put our clasp on. We're gonna go in through the crimp tube. Squish this wire down. I'm gonna get some helper wire. I'll keep this centered. And then grab my magical crimpers. Has the little concavity in the middle. You want to center your loop, your crimp inside that little concavity. If I can get mine in there and give it a squish. Turn it, squish it again. Turn it, squish it again. And I'm already not feeling resistance when I'm squishing because I have the helper wire in there. That is one of the benefits of having having a helper wire is that it doesn't take as long to like close the crimp, and also it seems to look better on my end. But yeah. Okay, one side. Now I'll grab this side and pull the loop down until it's about the same length. Center it and curve. Rotate. There we go. Okay. Now let gravity do its work and move everything down. Well, I think that's going to be really pretty, actually, guys. It like hits exactly the way I wanted it to. So I'm a happy camper right now. Grab into my other loop. This one has to come down. Don't want it like that's too tight. Okay. You guys do your design look last time? If she didn't, then we'll consider it a design choice. Heather, did you see that you have two beads between the large bead and the crimper? No, I did not, but thank you. I will fix it right now. Or it came off through in the process. Thank you. This is what you were talking about. I'm going to assume. Yes. I've learned I should probably look up before I do things. Oh, wait. It needs to be the opposite of this. Yeah, this had to have fallen off. That's so weird. Because I know I did it. It must have just come off when I was fiddling with the other side. Is that what I did? Hi, Julie! Okay, wait. Okay, wait. No, did I mess something up? Oh! Wait, I'm trying to figure out what you guys mean. Are you guys talking about this? Yeah, I know. I need to finish this. Is that all you guys were talking about it? I'm so confused right now. I'm hoping it's just that this pattern had fallen off. No, at the beginning, up here. I don't understand what I did wrong. This does need like one more console. Okay, I'm going down the pattern. Okay, so I have 1, 2, then 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2 above the crystal. I'm trying So I need to figure out what you guys are seeing. You mean like right here, how there's 3 here? Is that what you're talking about? I have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I have no idea what you guys are trying to see. A pink bead is missing. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. We might just have to call it a design choice, and somebody's gonna have to call me after and talk me through it because I'm not seeing anything different from one side to the other. It all looks exactly the same to me. So I apparently need many more coffees to figure out what I'm not seeing. Like I said, I haven't even finished my first cup. Not even halfway. I'm so confused. But it's okay. I will lay it out again in just a second. We will look at it again. Yeah, I just need the one last little repeat for my brain anyways, and I'm just not seeing what's wrong. So I'm gonna finish it and then I'm gonna look at it for a second and see if I see where you guys are seeing that there's a bead missing. So we have 1, 2, 3. I'm seeing the atrocious current, but because I will likely redo this afterwards because I'm not liking the way this is sitting. I have no idea what you guys mean by there's a bead missing. Because to me, everything looks completely the same. So I'm not sure what it is you guys are referring to. Like I said, I'm going to finish this up. And because I know who I am as a person, I will go back and rewatch this and see if I can understand better. Yes. Oh, they're great, right? Julie, I meant there was somebody else I was supposed to call. I'm trying to think. Maybe it was you, maybe not. The day we left, but okay. This wire needs a helper wire. No, I didn't do it on the other side, but it's just not as thick as what I'm used to from Southwest. So it says it's the same diameter as Southwest, but okay. And then, yes, I would put a clasp on this, but like I discussed, I will likely restring this once I figure out the clasp. Can you please let me cut this? Thank you. So, I'll figure out the mistake later, but I do like this. The only thing is that I kind of, I don't know. It could look kind of cool if these two strands, like there was something going. I don't know. I will futz with it. Because now I'm thinking that I wish I would have just done 5 all the way and just done like 2, 2, 2. But we'll see. That's as it sits right now. As I discussed, the other bracelet that I wanted to make that I have not done so yet is the garnet rhodonite, because I love that combination together. So let me clean this up real quick. How we've already been on an hour. Is everybody okay with me doing another bracelet? You guys have things to do, obviously. Don't let me stop you. At least all of these rhodonites were in the same little container. But yeah, I'll send Julie, I will send you the link for the Lazy Susans I used, because you really do want one that comes up on the side. And like I said, mine comes up to, let's look. Mine comes up almost a full 3 inches, which is nice because then, like I said, you can twirl it, go back and forth, do whatever it is that you want to do with it. I like it. Like I said, I keep my current bead boxes, and a few of my go-to beads or spacer beads. And okay, where do I put the rest of those? Right here. Okay. They're a game changer. And my typical like spacers and bead caps and all of that. Currently I only have silver and gold, like as far as having all of the things, but I have to do my like big restock for the year, which I do every year. And I lose these lids all the time, so the stacks becomes taller and taller and taller. So it's good to have that lip around so that they don't knock over. Okay. The other one I wanted to do was garnet and rhodonite, because as I stated, those are my favorite. Where did I put my bright copper spacer beads? They were in a tube. Where did I put them? I don't know. But this might also be a good place to use some of the crystals in the boxes. I like these little ones to kind of keep it like sparkly. Nope, that's different. And so it's that. Those are the white ones. Oh. Okay, I don't think I should need more than that. So pick these back up. Oh, Heather. I just picked up all of my garnets with the crystals. Of course I did. It's okay. I'll pull those out after. Just a few. Like I said, you guys, my videos tend to be like a never-ending blooper reel, I feel like. But yeah, there's just on the table. Show the lazy Susans, please. Yes. Oh, I gotta swing. I'm gonna turn Pixie around, but I don't want anybody getting sick. So, because I like have to turn it all the way around, and they're going to be upside down. So, see, those are the lazy Susans. They have all of my stuff in them, and they hold a. This isn't even halfway filled, and you can see just how many they hold. They're quite amazing. I like them. Nope, right here, Pixie. It's like, wait, you moved me from where I was supposed to be, Mom. What are you doing? So, sorry, it was driving me crazy to see the garnets in there. And I'm not sure my future self would have taken the time because, as I stated, I have 2 bead boxes sitting in my mailbox right now. The only 2 I get anymore. So I'm sure I will want to play with those when I'm done here, or at least unbox them. So separating out the garnets that I accidentally picked up. eh, I do also have the little pink ones. We'll have to see what they look like. Maybe they will look better with the darker garnet next to them. We'll see. I just don't know like which color will look best. I was going to use little silver spacers that are really pretty. I can't wait to show you guys these. I really like them, so I'll be ordering more, but it takes a few weeks to get everything in. So, but I really, really, really like them. There's 2 that I'm going to be ordering for like future sales. Oh, they're both in the same container. So there's these ones. Oh, there's these ones. Come on, Pixie. There you go. And they're not very like thick, but they're so pretty. So there's those ones. You know, there's like little swirls on the inside. They're very pretty. There's those ones that I want to get stocked for a sale. And then these ones, which I just love. They're just like little donut beads. If I'm being completely honest with you, it looks like either silver leaf or like tinfoil, I guess, was laid over this in small pieces and then smoothed out. So they're really cool. I like them a lot. They're not expensive. They are thank you. I appreciate that, Mary. Did you see it, Julie? Will do, Julie. Will do. Oh, of course you did, my dear. Okay, hold on. Are you off the phone? Can I show you? Okay, I'm gonna have to confuse Pixie. So see, where's the lazy Susan? And like this one isn't even halfway filled to its capacity, and I absolutely love them. So turn Pixie back around. I know. It's like, will you make up your mind, woman? Okay. So that's what they look like. They're great. I got them in a set of 4. So I have 2 others that once we figure out everything will likely be behind me on the table. Like I'll have all 4 out, and then I'll also have my risers. So I'm gonna have a lot of very nice bead storage um when all is said and done. And then because it is the necessary and very important part of jewelry making is that once we make a decision, we then change our mind and switch to a different one. Though the jars and these I've stuck with the longest. I really like the jars because they're clear, plus they when you put the cork in, they're not like if there's any moisture in the air or whatever else, it's not getting in to the beads. So it's just a matter of. I also have 6 millimeter. I'm just not sure that we will use both. Where did the what? I will use bead tips and just use the as long as this 49 string wire will go through. Yes, it will. It's kind of a tight fit, but that's way too long. Okay, so like I said, it's pretty bead caps. I also have my go-to little petal bead cap. So like I said, I hadn't figured it completely out yet, but I wonder if I just want to go like the big, well, bead cap it. So this guy might get a bigger bead cap. Nope, I like the dainty. I love these little bead caps because they go on big and small, no problem. Then because you know your girls gotta have them. I don't have any, like I don't have any more. 3 millimeter is the smallest I have, and that's great. Yeah, because I normally have many more. Okay, then I was thinking we could go from that to like one of the spacers in between, or is that going to be too big with the garnet? Let me see, that might be too like bulky. And this is what I thought was going to be the problem. Yeah, it won't go through on those. I lucked out the first time. Second time said no way. So we will grab some 19 strand instead. Okay, so crimp off this end. Start with the bead cap. There's 2 on here, which I might actually leave it on just so you guys can see because I do this sometimes. But mostly when I'm using larger beads, I will just double up the little petal bead cap. Sorry. And it just makes it sit apart a little better, if that makes sense. Because it's not so thin, it's now like bulked up. Okay, and then this. And I might just need to crystal. I just don't want these bead caps to cover up the garnet too much. And they do. Okay. So it'll just, not all of them, but some of them are thicker than others. I feel like that looks too big. These came from a bead cap I used to get that I don't get, or a bead box that I used to get that I don't get anymore. So it just came down to like when compared to the bargain bead box and or the companion bundle, I preferred to guarantee that I got the companion bundle over doing it. I don't like the crystals. So we're just gonna keep it simple. I will pick out the largest of these. I have plenty to draw from. So I'll just make sure that I pull out the thicker garnets. And do the double bead cap for the rhodonite. And go from there. Yes. Am I the only one yakking here? I have the square ones that stack loose. Wait, hold on. Yes, I'm confused. Okay, Julia, I'll go back and read it afterwards. Sorry, Pixie. It's not. Okay, stay there, Pixie. Don't bounce. I will go back and read everything after this, Julie, I promise. And I know that I didn't get back to you the other day. I'll call you when I'm done here. Yep, I like it just like this. Which are any of you guys surprised? I just like simple elegance or rustic elegance. I don't want it to look fussy, but I want it to like be there. And like, I like that there's not a larger bead cap on the rhodonite because it helps the rhodonite, like, it just looks like I'm the boss here. Look at me. And when you're creating with beautiful gemstones, sometimes you just need to let them be. I don't know how else to say it. Oh no. Slight problem. Man, I forgot. I have a necklace idea that I was saving these for because they have the same like swirly that my like the pendant I got with my original box is this one. You can see it doesn't have a lot of black on it. It's just very calm. So I need to keep out so many of these, and I want like, let's see here. There's those. So 2, 4, 2. Okay. Let's hope I don't need many more than these ones right here. If I do, I will alternate the pattern a bit. What I could do, these did come in the companion bundle. I can alternate the 6 millimeter and the 8 millimeter. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave it double bead capped, just so, yes. This will save me. I completely forgot about that necklace I want to make still. So I apologize for alternating it. Again, dumping it all off. Oh, come on, don't get stuck. Of course, the thicker ones have the drill holes that are going to be finer. But that will save me. And I may even start this with a small one. But yes, you can start it. Go. That was too thin. That one's really big. If I start with then I can probably find another really thick one like this and put it like on either side, kind of designating that as the focal. So let me do that really quick. Here's another really thick one. That one's really thick. That one will probably match best with the other one. So let's put the small rhodonite on, see where we're measuring at, and then kind of adjust accordingly. I forgot I wasn't putting 2D caps on the garnets. I love garnets and rhodonite. It's a combination that I don't see very many people doing, and I don't understand why, because I think that they look beautiful together. Okay, so I start with a garnet, then this should be my center. Once I do with clasp and everything else. So I need the bigger, right? Oh, I didn't even put the 6 millimeter. That's why it wasn't. I was like, no, that's way too short. What happened here? Because I didn't put the 6 millimeter on. Oh. Hi, Brandy. Hope you had a weekend. You're fine. I'm pretty impressed with myself that I'm even up myself. I was looking at this going, how do you think that was going to be the center of your bracelet? Like I said, I can always put a garnet at the beginning and end if I so choose, but I need the other really thick one on either side here. And maybe we build up the center one by using a larger bead cap just on the center one. It'll give it a bit, it'll just frame it nicer, I think. But I only want to do it at the center. Okay. Also, save all of these that you get. It says don't eat. I like to put do not throw away. And then you put them in, especially with your like pure sterling silver ones. I put all of those. Yeah. My trip was great. I was telling the girls the best part was the morning before we left. I mean, this was like the biggest moment to me, but the morning before we got over there yesterday morning, because the whole day before was setting up for, and then the birthday party, and then tearing it all down. And then we went back to our hotels and went to bed. Well, I went to bed. I told Steve and Brock to go do something like bowl or whatever, and they went to some arcade. But when we got to Jericho's on Sunday morning, and Squishy saw that I was walking in, she just came trucking while like dabba 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 everything, and stood up on my leg immediately with, and then put one of her arms up like, Gigi pick me up. And it was the best moment because Jerica and I have been like sending memes back and forth to each, or like little videos back and forth to each other. But in all of those, they're like 2 or 3 years old. And so, like, we figured that's where it would start with Squish, when she got to be a little bit older, maybe that's how she'd react. So, the fact that she reacted like that this young, like, made me happy. So, you see how just putting the, like, bigger one on here, how it kind of sets it apart from the rest of the bracelet and lets it just be like, hello. Um, that's how I do it. But it was the best. So the fact that it happened, and like Jason was still there, and he was like, all right, I witnessed it. If anybody tries to say there's no way that talking on the phone all the time gives a good, really, like, could possibly make that strong of a connection, they're wrong, because look, which of course then makes me all the more thankful for the fact that my daughter does that. She has been very intentional in making sure that Squish knows who we are, and um, that, like, that was too thin. Um, so it's fun. And my husband is, but the Ladybug Mary Janes were definitely like the hit of the party. 3 of the 4 like kids from Jerica's different mom groups or whatever else have girls. One has twin girls and the other one has just one girl. And they were like, so Jerica, would you be okay with us buying those for our child? Jerica's like, I don't care. I got them at the Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel has some adorable outfits, and I got her a little yellow sundress that had ladybugs on it, and they were right there. And I also bought her the finger puppet book that was the same. Um, and then my husband ran to Target or something and ended up getting the exact same one, which I was gonna bring home with me, but I told my daughter to keep it for in the diaper bag. That way, if they're ever out and Squish is having a meltdown, those are her favorite books. So she will. I don't know why I keep putting thin ones on here. Um, it will hopefully calm her down in the car, so, or at lunch or wherever they happen to be. So we already do old McDonald's and stuff. And she also brought me, that was another thing that she kept doing is she would bring me um all of the like she brought me all the old McDonald's so I could do that in person. She was so happy to like watch me do um like do it in person, so that was fun. But yeah, I had a blast. I was very happy. Like, and my daughter knew that I wasn't feeling like I had gotten enough time with the baby because she told her dad we were going to pick up breakfast. And she told her dad, drop Heather off first, drop mom off first, and then you guys can go pick it up. Okay. So, I know I'm using bead tips at the end of this, but this is feeling a little too small. So I'm going to start and end it with a garnet. And then that will be the last little bit of length that I need. That one won't go up. I know gem cut beads are gorgeous, but sometimes they're annoying because they're not consistent in size, shape, and all of that stuff. But okay, we're gonna add it on over here. Then I'm gonna pull out my bead tips. Oh, I didn't put two bead caps. Oh, yes, I did. Okay. And done. Okay, bead tips. I'm gonna do a hook clasp because these hook clasps they are beetle on. They're silver plated, and they are so easy to put a like it's very easy to put a bracelet on yourself. If you're using these hooks, it's so easy. So for somebody that has like dexterity issues, things like that, I obviously appreciate that fact. Oh, I can use whatever color I want. So going, I have to buy more silver crips. That's why I'm being a little stingy with them. Squish. Do a tug test. It is indeed good. Oops. Plus, they give you a little 1/4 inch like play because you can put it in either part and it will still lay flat. So it gives you about 1/4 inch of play as far as size goes. I typically direct clip this when or direct crimp that whenever I'm not using V tips. I like to direct crimp that on because I figure even if we run out, shaky shake, let it fall to the mat, to the mat. Nope, no. There we go. Uh-oh. How did we get that big of a gap, Heather? It's not a horrible gap. It's just bigger than I like. So I'm going to try very carefully to open this crimp up just enough to kind of slide it down ever so slightly. But that's an open, that's a lot harder. So, there we go. I think I got it open enough. Nope. Oh, I don't know why I'm not using it. I want to try to get it in the notches of the crimper, but it's like swinging around my hand back and forth. So sorry I'm not on camera. There we go. Okay. There we go. Much better. Tuck test is secure. I know I had the cutters out already. I just couldn't tell you where I put them down at. Scrap pot. Sorry, the crimp was not allowing this to close very easily. And for the hook part, I'm just going to, it falls open, so I'm just going to put that inside. I'll measure it if I need that little bit of extra space. I can always go in and put a jump ring. Okay, which I may need to. We will see though. I have it on. Look up over here somewhere. Oh yeah, this is tiny. It needs definitely needs the jump ring on. It's like right at 6 inches. Which for some of you ladies in my line, that's the perfect fit because you guys have itty bitty wrists. Randy and Beth both have itty bitty wrists. Okay, close that up. Grab a jump ring. Put it on this side. Oh, well, that's lovely. The crimp I opened and reclosed broke the beading wire. So I will have to restring this. which I'm not going to make you guys watch me do. But it's pretty, it will get finished because I love it. And this is a for me bracelet. So, but I have supplies to make more. Should anybody want them? But this is the one time when it's not for me. Okay, gonna come back up. We've been on for close to 2 hours now. I still haven't finished my first cup of coffee. I need to go get the bead boxes out of the mailbox so I can get it. But yes, you typo all day. I love breakfast for dinner, mostly because I don't generally eat breakfast, so that's the only time I really get it. But yeah, so where can you get the Lazy Susan? I will send you a link. Well, hold on, let me see. I can probably find it pretty quickly. If it has me, it does have me. So let me go to my orders. I will search up Lazy Susan. But I really do. No, this one. Okay. So it's a set of four and they're $24. So I mean they're not a cheap date, but they do have other options. So I have the largest one, which is 11.5 inches. They also have a 9.25, 9.25 inch. And for a 4-pack of those, it's only 15, but they don't have the same wall. It only has a wall of like an inch. And you can buy them in a single. Wait, what the hell? The 4-pack is $22.99. So if you get a 2-pack, it's $17.59. If you get a 6-pack, it's $31.99. So let me get the link for this. Like I said, they have been quite the game changer for me. Sorry if I look weird. I'm trying to find. They do have ones that stack too, which could be kind of cool. I just now saw those. That could be kind of cool. Because then you would go up. But then I don't think it would be as easy to get stuff in and out. Not as tall as ours would need to be. Where is the darn share button on here? Add to list. No, I want to share this item. There it is. Sorry, guys. Your girls. Okay, here it is. That is the link for the item. But anyways, alrighty. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. I hope that you get everything accomplished that you want to get accomplished and that you give yourself grace if it doesn't happen the way that you'd like it to. So, I will see you guys all on Wednesday evening, unless I fill up to a live tomorrow. So we'll see. Until then, though, happy beading.